everybody, and welcome to our third episode of David's Reflexology channel. And today we have got an international flavour to it. We're going to be contacting Laura Marrast. She's the operations manager at Reflexology Association of Canada, and we're going to be doing this by Skype. So let's just hope our technology works. So here we go, and we're going to give her a call now. Fingers crossed. Hi, Laura.
Hi, David. How are you?
See you. So, getting started, I think first things first. For those who don't know you, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do with Reflexology Association of Canada, please?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Laura Marrast, and I am the operations manager at the Reflexology Association of Canada, which means I oversee a lot of our major projects. I make sure things are happening on schedule, and then fill in sort of the gaps when we need extra assistance, or we've got a project we need to roll out. And we need additional resources. So that's basically my job, what I do.
Yeah, brilliant. So, in your previous life then, was there something that led you to work at Reflexology Association of Canada, or was it sort of just fate that brought you here somehow?
I get this question a lot because I sort of fell into this job. I used to live in the UK, actually, and I moved back to Canada about 4 or 5 years ago. And a friend of a friend introduced me to some of the people who worked here, and I thought, oh, this is interesting, neat, love to learn more. They had a job opportunity. I put my name forward, I got it, and 4.5 years later, I'm still here. So,
and of course, reflexologists and people sort of like associated, they all tend to be so lovely people, don't they?
They are. They're wonderful. So we have such a great team here at the Reflexology Association of Canada. Our therapists are wonderful. We're growing. It's a great time to, be a reflexology therapist in Canada, grow your reflexology business, and just so excited to work and be part of this team.
Now, you have just said something exactly the same as Kelly Hainsworth said, who you may know from Love Reflexology. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, and she said that she thinks this is the time to be a reflexologist at the moment, because it's not just that people now know what reflexology is, but people are starting to accept that, yes, it works. And it's such an exciting time to be a therapist now in our field. It really is. Now then, something that I do want to do. Have I stalled?
Yes, sir. 2 seconds. I don't know what happened. Okay, I think it's better.
Okay, no problem. This is the wonders of the internet, isn't it?
Yes.
As part of your organisation, what I'd really like to know, I want to get the inside track.
Oh.
What's it like organising the conference that you've got coming up? Yes, because that must be one heck of a huge task.
It is. It's one of our biggest projects we have every year. And what it takes it's planning. We start about a year and a bit in advance in terms of choosing the location, the date, kind of what we'd like to see for future conferences. I guess I should explain a little bit how the Reflexology Association of Canada works. So we're a national organization, so we register and represent reflexology therapists across Canada. And Canada has 10 provinces, 3 territories, and because we're so big, we actually have provincial representation, provincial chapters, we call them. And what we've done is to help plan such a big event, we actually partner with our provincial groups to say, hey, we're going to bring the conference to your province, your city. What would you like to see? We'll form a working group to get ideas, who we'd like to reach out to as speakers, what events or activities you'd like to see. And then from there, we'll build it over a year and a bit before the actual event.
Right. So you've really got grassroots involvement.
Absolutely.
Saying, this is what we could do. This is where we could do it. And they really know the territory. and then it's a case of bought centrally and then organised to make sure that it is going to run smoothly, I take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we right now our conference is happening in Victoria, BC. So we're working with our BC chapter to figure out all the logistics in terms of volunteers. They're the ones who sort of brought out Victoria as a specific city, and they're the it's a team effort to bring these conferences together. It's really a team effort.
And what a great place to go, because of course we've now got Harry and Meghan there. I mean, hey, who'd have known?
Yeah. Yes, no, we completely planned it so that, all eyes would be focused on Victoria when we were there. That's fun.
I'll tell you what, though, the way that you've just described it, that sounds such a simplified way. I bet in reality that even though you may be gliding smoothly across the face of the water, you're like a swan above, but paddling furiously underneath. Would that be pretty much a good analogy?
Well, it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of logistics goes into it. Everything from booking and organizing, bringing speakers, organizing things like audiovisual equipment, and we run things through our website. So, getting all of our tickets and all of the designs and all of those things. So it does take a lot of work. But that's why we give ourselves a year and a bit to plan each conference and make sure if we need to add things, take away things, do something new, we've got the time to make those adjustments.
Indeed, indeed. So this conference, it's obviously Reflexology Association of Canada, but is this conference just for Canadians, or do you get people from all over coming?
No, it's not just for Canadians. The way we've structured the conference and our whole philosophy as an association is we want to be as inclusive as possible. Yeah, no, that's really been our vision and focus the last couple of years, is bringing people in from different training backgrounds, bringing people in from who may have different perspectives on reflexology. So it's really open to reflexology therapists, massage therapists, acupuncturists, naturopaths, people who are in the natural health field. And because of that, we don't just attract Canadians, we attract people from all over the world. And specifically this year, because of our location, I think Victoria is fairly accessible from the United States. So we've got a pretty decent contingent of Americans coming up for the conference. I saw on our attendee list the last couple of days, we've got some Australians coming.
Whoa!
Yes, we've got some people down there coming up, so that will be exciting. We've got great international speakers, so half of our speakers are from outside of Canada, so I think that's also attracting, international attendees. And in particular, we've got one speaker coming from South Africa, Inky Dugans, and because of that, there's been some interest in South African therapists who want to say, like, we want to see it. Kind of thing. So I think it's going to be quite international this year. And that's in other years, but just it'll be good representation.
Now then, this is actually a perfect segue into my next question, because you've mentioned the fabulous Inga Dugans,
yes,
who does Meridian Reflexology. Yes. Who else have we got coming? Come on, whet our appetites. Let us know who's coming, Laura.
I'd be remiss to not start with you, David, who is coming to do your fabulous finger-free reflexology workshop and seminar. And I'll be clear to all your viewers, David was one of our speakers at our 2019 conference in Halifax, and he was such a big hit. We got loads of requests. Bring him back. We want to get training, so we invite you. Asked you if you'd like to, if it fit into your schedule, to come back for this year, and you said yes, so we're really excited to have you back again.
I would have thought, actually, once being over there, they'd have gone, never again.
Yeah. But
it's so nice to come back. It really, really is. So who else have we got?
Well, we've got a nice UK contingent this year. We've got Sally Kay, who's coming to do her reflexology lymphatic drainage, to talk about that technique and how useful it is. We've got Barbara Scott from the Association of Reproductive Reflexologists.
Yeah.
So she's coming to talk about reflexology and fertility and using it, for both male and female fertility issues. We've got Dr. Carol Samuels. We're so excited to have her come. to present her
so knowledgeable. Yeah,
she is, and so she does reflexology, using it for pain management.
yeah.
So she's doing a workshop after the conference to work to show people the technique
Mm-hmm.
in terms of using it in their practice, but also talking about some of her research that she has done. So that's going to be fabulous. And so yeah, that's and Ingy Dugans, of course, who's coming from South Africa to talk about meridian theories. And then we've got our Canadian representatives.
Don't forget the Canadian ones. No.
Get the Canadians. So we've got three of us. We got some locals from British Columbia. So the first one I want to mention was Helga Peterson, who's from Vancouver, just across the waters from Victoria. So she runs her own reflexology school institute, brings in speakers all the time, and she's going to be doing a seminar on reflexology and musculo-reflex zones, and looking at the zones a little differently. We've got Alison Ziegler, who's from up north in the Yukon. She's coming to talk about gate points theory, which I actually know nothing about.
Neither do I. That's one that I want to listen to because I want to learn too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Linda Broyle, who's coming to talk about reflexology and birthing. So we've got Barbara Scott talking about the fertility, the initially getting pregnant, and then Linda Broyle is kind of following up that with,
That's perfect. We can go right the way through from fertility, right the way through to the finished product.
Exactly.
Call it that, yeah.
And so she's a local, again, from Vancouver Island, and so we're really great. She's coming. And then we've got, last but not least, of course, Lise Couture from Alberta, who's coming, and she's so lovely to talk about auricular therapy and reflexology and how it works specifically on the ear. She's done a lot of training research about ear reflexology, auricular therapy, so we're excited to have her do that. So the way we've structured our conference the last couple of years is sort of a choose your own adventure. We've presented a smorgasbord of speakers, opportunities, and we tell people, choose what you want to listen to. Talk to therapists from your province you may not have known, or from other different regions across the world that, so you learn from each other, and we really want people to learn from each other as well.
That's part of it for me. I love meeting new reflexologists, learning new ideas.
Yeah.
And also, then it opens up your mind to something that you hadn't even considered before.
Mm-hmm.
The value of that is just phenomenal. It really, really is.
And then we're finding you get contacts or even like mentors sort of in other parts. So, you might get a client and you have a case where it's like, oh, I don't even know where to start with this person. It's like, oh, I met someone at the conference. I'm going to drop them an email or give them a call and maybe talk through things with them. And so that, we love seeing that sort of networking, friendship, mentoring that goes on after the conferences.
Perfect. Now then, you've mentioned all these wonderful people. I understand you're doing some Facebook Live series, interviewing the speakers. So is that it's like Facebook Live, but does that mean we can't watch it later, or can we watch it later if we're not able to watch it at the same time?
Yeah, so we just started it this year. We're finding because we're bringing a lot of speakers that not everyone has heard of. We thought we'd give people a taste, a little introduction of like who they are, what's their background, what are they speaking at the conference. So we've been doing every Thursday the last couple of weeks on Facebook, the Reflexology Association of Canada's Facebook account. But they're recorded, so they're still up on our Facebook. And I think we might repost the videos later, or might put them on YouTube or something so people can watch them. But they're still there. So if you miss them the live times, don't worry, they're saved on Facebook. Just go to our page, click on the videos, and you'll see them.
I'll put a link on this channel to those as well then, and then if anybody wants to watch them, then the links will be there. Does that sound okay?
That sounds perfect. Thank you so much.
Such wonderful people to learn from, just watching the videos even, I would have thought. Yeah. Is that the international speakers, or is that your Canadian speakers are going to be interviewed as well?
Yeah, no, we're going to do everyone. So
wonderful.
Everyone. Everyone Equal opportunity here. Everyone gets the opportunity to be on Facebook. So I think my next, I don't know, the date we're recording this, the next one that's coming up is going to be Helga Peterson, one of our Canadian speakers. So she's going to be talking about herself and what she's going to be presenting at the conference, and then we'll just keep going through them.
Brilliant. Oh, that's smashing. So now a personal question for you, Laura. Just to get a little insight about you. Don't worry. It's absolutely fine.
As I adjust nervously in my chair.
I could see that. What do you like to do when you're not in Rack's office? What do you like to do for your, to relax and sort of put your hobbies, interests, that sort of thing? So we got a taste of you.
Sure. Well, I really like to travel, and I actually recently came back from a tour of Ireland, which was fabulous. Ireland is gorgeous, beautiful, great food, great people, great sights, lots of history. So that's usually what I like to do. And then I usually tell this as a not weird, but like a little quirky detail about myself. I actually belong to a semi-professional puppet group.
Oh.
So we do rod puppetry. And we'll present around.
Wow, I love that.
So we've taken a bit of a hiatus just because of our executive creative directors have had some changes, but a lot of our stuff still up on Facebook. We've done school presentations, we've done stuff like puppetry in the park. And yeah, it was fun. I've been part of it in some way, shape, or form since I was 12 years old. So it's been quite a long time I've been involved. So yeah, so that's the other thing I like to do.
Is that sort of puppets where you've got one hand up and then there's two rods doing the two hands, so to speak? Oh, fabulous!
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I did not think that was going to... I thought you were going to be... Because you can move. You danced really, really well last year. I thought you were going to tell me it was dancing or music or something like that, but puppetry. That's fabulous.
I do music and dancing, but I just thought that if you want something, a little insight into myself, I belong to this puppet group.
Brilliant. Last question then, because this has been so informative. It really has. Coming back to the conference, are tickets still available?
Yes, tickets are still available. All the details are on our conference website, reflexologyconference.com. So there's, you can get a ticket for the entire weekend, and then some of our speakers have offered to do pre-conference workshops or post-conference workshops, so those are extra. Those do tend to book up fast. Your workshop definitely sold out last year before the conference, so I've been telling everyone, if you want to do one of the workshops, get your tickets now, because there's limited spaces at the workshops. But yeah, there's still room for the conference, which includes our International Awards Gala. So when you're talking about dancing, that's usually after we've given up the words and eaten. We'll have a bit of a dance, which is always very good fun.
It was brilliant fun last year. It really, really was. Oh, I think we even got Mara Carey up dancing at one stage, didn't we?
We did. We got the whole rack team up at one stage. Was it last year we did Thriller? Or maybe, I can't remember. But we had everyone doing Thriller.
I think that must have been the year before, because I don't remember doing that last year.
I have a video somewhere one year of everyone doing the Thriller dance. So we always have great fun at the gala.
Brilliant. Laura, it has been an absolute delight to chat with you.
Oh, thank you.
I do appreciate it so much. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you when I come over and we get to see face-to-face again.
Yes, no, I'm so excited to see you in person. Thank you so much for inviting me for this chat on your channel. And good luck with everything until then.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So I hope you enjoyed meeting Laura as much as I did. It was really lovely chatting with her and learning about the conference that's coming up this spring. And I hope that if you're going to be there, that I get to meet you. Do come up to me and say hello. And for those of you that haven't been to a reflexology conference before, it doesn't matter. We were talking obviously about Reflexology Conference in Canada. There are conferences all over the world. They are the best places to go to learn new things, meet new friends. And in fact, talking about friends, you do make friends for life when you go to these conferences. They are places to go to really build you up, not just in your knowledge. Of course, that's a very important thing, but also they kind of fire you up and get you ready for another year of trading. And you're thinking, yeah, I can do this. And very often, I've heard this said so many times before, that people that go to conferences, they find that there's like a boost that they've had, not only in how they're feeling, but also that they seem to find themselves in the right place to be able to equip themselves for a boost in their business as well. So thank you for watching. I've thoroughly enjoyed having you with me on this episode. Our next interview is going to be with the fabulous inventor of vertical reflexology, Lynn Booth. I'm going to be interviewing her on the 29th of March, so the video will be coming out first or second, probably second actually, I think. So do look out for that. Lynn is the most amazing reflexologist. She'll have so much to tell us, so much that we can learn from. So I look forward to seeing you again then.